following is a presentation of Dakota Radio Group Sports and DRGnews.com.
94.5 KPLO is proud to present coverage of area sports. This game can be heard anywhere around the world on DRGnews.com and watched on YouTube. Just search KPLO Sports. Now, it's time for the pregame with Darren Moyle.
Hi, and a very good evening to you. We welcome you to Arlington, South Dakota. Tonight, we present round 2 coverage of the South Dakota High School football playoffs on KPLO. We've got a good matchup for you tonight. From Class 9AA, as the Kimball White Lake Wildcats take on the Arlington Lake Preston Badgers. And our coverage of regional high school sports on KPLO brought to you tonight by the Prairie Post, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, May Adam, the Jet Lanes, the South Dakota Attorney General's Division of Consumer Protection, Harry K. Chevrolet and Ford, Hutch's Cafe, by Right Seed, by Midwest Cooperatives and Darren Boyle Sales. Tonight's coverage of regional high school football also being brought to you tonight by Thrivent Financial of Chamberlain, by Ditties, by Statewide Ag, Al's Oasis, Farmco, Harry K., Bank West, Overwig Repair, and Kimball Clark. John Neff is our technical director at Dakota Radio Group's world headquarters, and my name is Darren Boyle. We thank you for joining us tonight for coverage of regional high school football. 2 good teams that survived round 1 of the football playoffs will match up tonight. The Arlington Lake Preston Wildcats, they are 9-0 on the season as they were able to advance in the playoffs as they picked up a 55-20 victory over Elkton Lake Benton last Thursday to open their playoff run, taking on a Kimball White Lake Wildcat squad. The Wildcats now 6-3 on the season. They picked up victory number 6, defeating Jones County White River last Thursday by a final of 48-6. These 2 teams, well, they like to run the football, and this is the type of situation here tonight. Very somewhat soft field here in Arlington tonight. It should be a good track for both teams. It was just a slight south wind on this north-south facing field, probably blowing at a good 10 to 15 mile an hour clip that we expect to drop off just a little bit as we roll through the evening. But otherwise, temperature in the upper 40s as we approach kickoff time. It should be a very nice night for football. We are broadcasting tonight. We're on the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety wants to remind you to avoid a kiss with death. Always plan a designated driver. And we have lots to talk about tonight during our Prairie Post pregame, of course, brought to you by the Prairie Post. Lots of football going on. Some scores already, some earlier games that kicked off about an hour ago. We'll talk about some of those matchups, some of the other matchups in both the 9-man and the 11-man football playoffs. As all 6 classes are in action tonight. And we'll talk about some of those matchups when our pregame continues after a 2-minute break on KPLO.
The Prairie Post and Presho and Farmers Union Oil Company of Presho, Reliance, Draper, and Murdo are proud sponsors of high school athletics. Farmers Union Oil Company is your local supplier for bulk gas, diesel fuel, and propane, along with other farm and ranch needs. At the Prairie Post and Presho, they invite you in for hot food on the go, a cold beverage in the casino and lounge, and a quick place to fuel up with Cenex brand quality fuels with 24-hour pay-at-the-pump service. Stop and see the friendly folks at Prairie Post and Farmers Union Oil Company in Presho, Reliance, Draper, and Murdo, bringing you the KPLO Prairie Post pregame show.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Giving back to the communities where we live, work, and worship is something Thrivent Financial takes pride in. Strengthening communities and helping you be wise with money is part of Thrivent's mission as a not-for-profit financial services organization. And that's why Thrivent is a proud sponsor of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats. Financial representative is Mike Reimer. To learn more, call 234-0382. Connecting faith and finances for good.
You see it all the time when you're heading along I-90. You get to Kimball, and there it is. Ditties. Next time you drive by, why not head on in? If you're traveling past it now, why not head on in? Try some of Ditties crispy, crunchy chicken. The best chicken you've never tasted. Try it once, you'll be back again. Ditties features smoked
Our
brisket,
pregame show,
pork,
3,
and
2, 1.
Ditties on your weekend calendar for smoked prime rib. Served each Friday and Saturday night. Breakfast served all day. Ditties, 801 South Main Street in Kimball. Go Wildcats!
Back here in Arlington as we work closer to the kickoff of our second round playoff matchup tonight between the Kimball White Lake Wildcats and the Arlington Lake Preston Badgers. Here is what's going on in Class 9B tonight. All games 7 o'clock Central Time kickoffs. Kadoka area at Sully Buttes tonight. Burke is at Faulkton area. Coloma and Egan, Castlewood as at Wall. None of those games underway as yet, as we mentioned. In 9A tonight, New Underwood is at Timberlake. Alcester Hudson at Canastota Freeman. Corsica Stickney is at Britton Heckler tonight, and it is Britton Heckler with a 30-6 lead. They are in the second quarter already. And finishing off the 9A field, it is Howard at Warner tonight. In 9AA, Irene Rakonda is at Woolsey Wessing tonight. Gregory is at Bonham. Of course, this matchup, Kimball White Lake and Arlington Lake Preston and Webster area will be hosting Garrettson tonight. In 11B, Lead Deadwood are trailing Mount Vernon Plankington. That is an 18-0 score. Bridgewater Emery Ethan already leading Mobridge Pollock. That score 20-6. Sioux Falls Christian and winner at Sioux Falls Christian and Aberdeen Roncalli at Canton, both 7 o'clock kickoffs tonight. In 11A, Hot Springs traveling to T area. It's 8-0 T area in that ball game. West Central all over Todd County as they are in the fourth quarter already. It's 49-0 in that ball game. Del Rapids and Madison, St. Thomas More at Dakota Valley. It's Dakota Valley leading St. Thomas More by a 12-3 score. In 11AA, and they are already in quarter number 2 in Pierre, where Pierre leads Spearfish 21-0. Other games just underway. Sturgis leading Yankton 3-0. Huron at Harrisburg, and Brookings at Mitchell. The other games in the 11 AA field and 11 AAA. Sioux Falls Roosevelt defeated Aberdeen Central earlier today, 55-14. Sioux Falls O'Gorman is leading Sioux Falls Lincoln in quarter number 2, 27-0. Brandon Valley leading Rapid City Central. That is a 27-0 score. And Watertown and Sioux Falls, Washington getting underway at 7 o'clock. We had the opportunity to talk to both of our head coaches earlier this evening. Our Keys to Success segments brought to you by the folks at May Adam. And first, it is Steve Gilbertson, head coach of the Badgers of Arlington Lake Preston. Our pregame show continues as we talk to the coaches, and we're joined first by the head coach of the Arlington Lake Preston Badgers. That's Steve Gilbertson. And Coach, you come in 9-0 on the season. You guys have put together a very nice year.
Thank you. Our kids have played really well. I'm really proud of what they've accomplished. And, of course, today in the quarterfinals, I think you can throw the records out the window. You know, I think both 0-0 today. And I don't know if I can count their losses. There have been pretty good losses by some pretty good teams. So it's going to be an even game.
And you guys have done it throughout the year with a good balance. You've got some senior leadership, but you've got some young kids that have stepped up all year for you, it looks like.
We have. A couple sophomores really stepped up and played well for us and filled in with some of the lack of depth we had earlier, so that's really helped a lot.
You guys, you get into the playoffs, and I get a lot of answers from a lot of the coaches over the years. You get to this point, like you say, it's 0-0. It's a matter of taking care of yourself more than what the other team does, because it's tough to get a real good scouting report on a team, especially as far away as Kimball White Lake is.
It is. You know, you haven't played any common opponents, and that's kind of a tough one. And it's tough to gauge how good you are or how good they are based on the competition because you haven't seen them both. And I think our conference is pretty tough, so I think that makes us, a legitimate contender. But I think their schedule is extremely tough.
Yeah, and one of the other things you got to be able to do is just limit mistakes, and I think that's key coming in from the opening kick.
We talked about that. The team that's going to turn the ball over the most is going to have a tough time winning this football game. And we preach take care of the ball, and we preach penalties, and just what you said, we talked about it.
You guys had a little bit when what we've had in Central South Dakota. This is a real soft field. It's going to be a real great surface to play on.
It looks really good. I was on the field yesterday, and of course we had some rain about 10 days ago, a week and a half ago, and kind of got baked, and we played on it a couple times and kind of got packed, and I said to one of my coaches, I think we need a little water on the field. By gosh, we got some this morning, and it wasn't too much. It was just enough, so it looks real good.
All right, Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's Steve Gilbertson of the Arlington Lake Preston Badgers, and we'll have more as pregame continues on KPLO.
My name is Tara Fisher, and I'm an attorney at the May Adam Law Firm in Pierre. I grew up on a ranch in Montana, which taught me the value of hard work and perseverance. I put forward those values for my clients each and every day. Whether you have questions about family law, you want an estate plan, you need legal advice for a business transaction, or you need help in a criminal matter, I'm here. The May Adam Law Firm has served South Dakotans statewide since 1881. Call us at 224-8803. or visit our website, mayadam.net.
Game interviews. We're joined by Dale Taylor, head coach of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats. And coach, as you come into round 2 of the playoffs, you're able to get a nice win on the road in Murdo, defeating Jones County White River. It's good to get them wins early in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. It was sure nice to get that win right away, right last week. And it took us a while to get going, but once we kind of got started, I think we took care of business.
And I think, from what it sounded like, you were able to kind of keep things as far as taking care of the ball and keeping the penalties down and things like that. That's key, and when you get into the playoffs, and I think that's going to be a big thing here tonight against Arlington Lake Preston.
Oh, no doubt about it. We got to definitely hold down the turnovers, you know what I mean? And every play is a big play, you know what I mean? Every series is a big series. You can't take a play off when it comes this time of year.
And when you get to this point of the year, the thing about it, the football playoffs in South Dakota are built for teams that run the ball. They like to run the football. You guys do too. So that's what's going to make this matchup, I think, a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, they got a nice-looking offensive line. They got a nice-looking running back, and they do run the ball well. And hopefully we can establish that running game as well.
And they're going to come at you with a lot of size. You guys have been able to have a size advantage on a lot of the teams you've played this year, but they're awfully big.
Yeah, they are awfully big. Really good muscular kids. You can tell they've been in the weight room. So, it's going to be a little different than what we've maybe come across here prior to here.
But I guess as far as the weather's concerned, I mean, it's going to be a little damp tonight. They got a little rain earlier today. The field's a little bit soft, but I mean, this is going to be as good a night as you can ask for late in October to play football.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the field looks like it's in good condition, no doubt about it. A little bit of breeze. If that breeze would happen to go down, I think it would make life a little bit better.
All right, Coach. Best of luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Dale Taylor of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats, and that is our Keys to Success segment brought to you by May Adam, and we're back with starting lineups on KPLO.
There's a lot of uncertainties in farming and ranching today, but one thing is certain. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell are your crop and livestock insurance specialists. Statewide agents have a background in agriculture and work hard to provide
Oasis Clothing, Restaurant, and Gift Shop.
coverage of regional high school football and the quarterfinal round of the South Dakota High School football playoffs. Kimball White Lake will kick off. It will be Arlington Lake Preston who will have the football first. Our kickoff brought to you by the Harry K. Chevrolet in Chamberlain and Harry K. Ford in Winter. They are your best source for all the 2019 Chevy Silverado and Ford F-150s. They can put you in the right truck at the right price. Harry K's will make it happen for you. It will be Caden Lenz who will kick off as the Badgers back deep. Miguel Campos won, and Gavin Holland back to field, and it will be Campos who will field it from his 10. He'll bring it up across the 15, 20, still to 25, and to the 26-yard line. That is where Arlington Lake Preston will have the football first and 10. Devin Hoyer, the quarterback, 185-pound senior for the Arlington Lake Preston Badgers. From the scouted reports that we have gathered from the Badgers, they like to run the football. They have been able to put up points at times against their opponents throughout the season, but a very solid football team that comes in with a 9-0 overall record. And they will work here from the 26-yard line, right hash mark, first and 10, and they will load up in the, working a pistol alignment as they will hand the football off, and a running play right up the middle. As Hewer give the football, I believe that is Campos, the second man through, and he'll bring the football up across to the 28, 29-yard line is where they'll mark it. That'll be a gain of 3 yards on first down, and it will bring up second down as we are just underway here on a very cool, very nice fall evening. A little bit of a chill in the air because of that south breeze that continues to blow, but couldn't ask for much better for a night of football here on October 25th. Here is throughout this football season as Collins will work in that pistol formation. Hoyer back to pass under some pressure, and down he goes. Big time sack in the backfield, and that is Justin Becker. He got back there. Hoyer had nowhere to go with the football, and they brought him down for a loss all the way back to the 24-yard line. So Kimball White Lake making a nice defensive play on this first series, and now it's second and a bunch. They'll need to move the football out to the 48-yard line. They are on the 22 right now, so it'll be second down, 26 yards to go. And this takes running out of the equation as the Badgers will spread everybody, or spread out. They'll run two receivers to the right side. Hoyer will run that read option. He'll pitch it back, looking for running room with Holland. And, that is Campos. And Miguel will move it across the 25, get tripped up at about the 28-yard line as Carter Frederickson steps up and runs support and helps make the tackle there. Minimal gain as they move the football to the 28-yard line. Call it the 29. It'll be a gain of 4. And it will bring up a third down and about 20 yards to go. And the Badgers need to move the football to the 22-yard line to pick up the first down. From the left hash mark this time as they will line up again, a pistol formation look. Campos alongside the quarterback Hoyer. Trip receivers to the right side, which is the wide side of the field. Low snap and a whistle and a penalty flag comes out. Movement along the front line. It looks like we're going to have offsides against Kimball White Lake. So the Wildcats, with their first penalty of the football game, will give an extra 5 yards to the Badgers. It'll still be third and a bunch, but they will move the football 5 yards closer out to the 34-yard line. And it'll be third down and 14. So again, they'll line up on the right hash mark. Hoyer will walk them to the line of scrimmage. Again, he'll line up with that pistol formation look. Miguel Campos is there. Trip receiver split out wide. There's man coverage on the outside. They will run option to the right. And this is a pass upfield. The pass is almost intercepted. Good coverage downfield, and Hoyer having to make a pass on the run. There was good pressure, and they threw it upfield. The pass was covered well and incomplete. And Arlington Lake Preston will have to kick the football away, and Kimball White Lake will have the football for the first time tonight. The Wildcats with Caden Lenz back deep. As the Badgers get ready to kick the football away. move the football down to the 18-yard line. Nice pitch and catch there as Holland stood tall in the pocket and threw a strike upfield. Becker, that 195-pound junior, shows off that 6'8" end frame, and he is wide open as he cut across the middle and then did a good job running after the catch as he moves the football down inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. So now the Wildcats have something cooking here. We have 7:09 remaining in the opening quarter. First down and 10. As again, we'll see a power eye look, and it will be to the left, and then tries to cut, has his feet slip out from underneath him, and he falls down. And that was one thing that I guess didn't get mentioned in the interview, but most coaches a little bit not only did they get some rain this afternoon or this morning and overnight last night, but this field the humidity definitely will come out of the ground. This grass is going to be a little slick before all is said and done this evening. Carter Frederickson loses a yard on the play, and it will bring up second down and 11 as the clock runs, and we work our way to the 6-minute mark of this opening quarter. Frederickson will be the deep back once again. They'll pitch it to him. They'll try to sweep to the wide side, and Frederickson with the carry will move the football to the 15-yard line, and that is all as the tackle made by Damon Larson and others for Arlington Lake Preston. This is probably 4-down territory for the Wildcats, but you'd like to be able to pick up some decent yardage on this 3rd down and 8 situation as opposed to trying to go for it or just make 4th down easier. That's what I'm trying to say. As the Wildcats walk up to the line of scrimmage here. It will be a pistol look with 2 receivers split out to the near side. Holland will take the snap. They'll go read option. They hand it off. Caden Lenz with it. Lenz has a first down. Lenz inside the 10. And he gets down to the 5-yard line. That's just good football there. And the misdirection, Caden Lenz, 165-pound junior with the carry. The football inside the 5-yard line. And it will be first down and goal from there as the Wildcats try to score first here in this quarterfinal 9AA football playoff matchup. Double wing look this time for the Wildcats. and roll. Trying to buy some time now under pursuit. He's going to be hit hard. He pick up positive yards, but defended well by Kimball White, nobody downfield. Brian Newman was trying to get open downfield after Hoyer tried that reverse, that bootleg, rolling to his left. The right-handed quarterback had to have that extra time to set his feet and didn't have it, couldn't get it. Good pursuit from the Wildcat defense, and now it is 3rd down and 6. So the Wildcats trying to force another 3 and out, if you will. An opportunity to try to get that football back, and the Wildcats need to take leads, and we're back in 30 seconds on KPLO.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being good role models, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. The South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Timeouts are brought to you by Hutch's Cafe and Lounge in Preston. And your next timeout, stop by Hutch's Cafe and Lounge for a great meal and beverages. We have 3:07 remaining in quarter number 1. It is an 8-0 lead for Kimball White Lake. The Wildcats score on their opening possession of the football game after they forced Arlington Lake Preston to punt deep in their territory after a big quarterback sack made by Justin Becker. He sacked quarterback Devin Hoyer. Lost about 20 yards in that play. Here, the Wildcats down. An 8-yard to go situation. Straight drop back after Hoyer. He'll fire up. The pass is caught. That time, good job of Dennis running upfield. Good coverage by Dennison just with that speed upfield. Olin had to give him a little bit of cushion, and then they came back to the football. Well-thrown football as they move it up across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and that will be a 1st down for Arlington Lake Preston. So it'll be their first down of the contest as the Badgers again will work with the football as they work from the right side. Again, the pistol formation look for Hoyer. Low snap this time, but he'll dig it out. Tries to get it to the outside with a handoff. The ball carrier, Gavin Holland, he's pursued well, but Holland, with some good second effort, will pick up some yardage there as he moves the football up to the 44-yard line as the tackle, Cordell Keene, in there to help out with the tackle. Also, I believe that was Carter Frederickson, helped chase that play down as well. It will be a gain of 4, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 6 yards to go situation for the Badgers. Badgers dressed in their home red uniforms with the gray pants, red helmet, white numerals in trim. Hoyer will work under center, takes the snap, dig it out. Hoyer will keep it himself this time and will not find much. Up across the 45 to the 48-yard line, he is brought down there as the tackle is made by Justin Becker, and it will be a gain of a couple. Call it a gain of 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4 as the football rests at the 46-yard line of Arlington Lake Preston. We are inside of 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Both teams keeping it between the hash marks, if you will. We have buzzed right along here in this opening period here in Arlington. Hoyer under center once again. Man alongside, 2 receivers to the right. Now spread out that Kimball White Lake defense, and Hoyer will just keep it himself. And a good play call there. Kimball White Lake really had no choice but to from the outside, and that got some players out of the box, and that gave the quarterback Hoyer the opportunity forward. And for the first time, Arlington Lake Preston will be territory as the Badgers move the football to the 47-yard line. So Kimball White Lake, they'll have the football after it looked like Arlington Lake Preston was getting ready to do something. Now it'll be Kimball White Lake who will have the football. quarter number 2. Kimball White Lake facing a 3rd down and 12 situation after that incomplete pass on 2nd down. And David Holland looks at the defense that doesn't like what he sees, and he will take a timeout. Kimball White Lake using their of this first half, and we'll get things underway with quarter number 2 after we take a 30-second break. You're listening to Coverage Football and the South Dakota High School Football Playoffs from KPLO.
A lot of uncertainties in farming and ranching today, but one thing is certain. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell are your crop and livestock insurance specialists. Statewide agents have a background in agriculture and work hard to provide growers and ranchers with risk management plans and insurance coverage. From hail insurance, livestock revenue protection, to multi-peril crop and revenue insurance, Statewide will help you with the right decision. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, locally owned, your dependable partner in crop and livestock protection, and equal opportunity provider.
Timeouts are brought to you by Hutch's Cafe and Lounge in Preston. As Kimball White Lake will come right to the line of scrimmage here as they get ready to go on this 3rd down and 12 play. The opening play of quarter number 2. And Poland with a quick snap will be back to pass looking. Fires it upfield. Pass is caught. That is Carter Fredrickson in space. And Fredrickson will be out of bounds in Arlington Lake Preston territory, as he'll move the football inside the 35 and to the 37-yard line. And a good job there on 3rd down and 12. Kimball White Lake is able to convert, and they will have a 1st down. One of the advantages that both of these teams have in having a senior quarterback is being able to give him the rein, if you will, give him the opportunity to read that defense and know what to do if the play isn't going to work. Call that timeout, and that's what Kimball White Lake did here. Here is Fredrickson with it, or pardon me, Caden Lenz, and Lenz with the carry. He will move the football inside the 20 and down to the 15-yard line, so a good run there. Caden Lenz shows a little bit of a change of pace, and that will be a 1st down for the Wildcats, and they already have an 8-0 lead, and they try to build some momentum here. And they've got all the momentum on their side at this point as the Wildcats go to work here trying on the board. As they work from the left hash mark, Fredrickson will be the deep back and a power eye look this time. Student body right. And here they go, and a whistle and a penalty flag comes out, and looks like it's going to be a false start. Lake. That is the 2nd time that they have been whistled for a false start at this juncture of the football game, and that'll be a 5-yard mark off. We'll do 1st and 15 once again. But again, you're just into a situation where we are looking at Lake. We have seen them twice this year, and we have not seen them try to kick extra point. We have not seen them try a field goal yet this season. As they hand the football off, this is looking for inside. Good for 2 that time. Pedersen will get the penalty yards back and get to about the 12-yard line. That'll be about a 7-yard gain, but good job in another for Arlington Lake Preston. Also Tyler Jensen. He's a 265-pound senior for the Badgers, and he will slow up Fredrickson. It'll turn out to be a 6-yard gain. The 2nd down and 9 is upcoming. We are working early in quarter number 2, 8-0 lead for Kimball White Lake as the Wildcats mark-off, and they really got a good surge because they were a beat too early. The fourth 5-yard mark-off, the third false start for Kimball White Lake. They have also had an offside penalty in this football game. Instead of a doable 4th down and 2, it's a 4th down and 7 situation here. And we'll see what's in the playbook for Dale Taylor. Olin under center. All right, again, play action. Back to pass is Olin. Pass time. Fires it upfield. Pass is intercepted. Intercepted, no incomplete, but that's just as well. And Arlington Lake Preston, well, they do a good job up and putting together a defensive stand, and they will turn Kimball White Lake away, but they will be buried deep in their own territory as they put the football down. Well, we're waiting for them to put the football down. It will be at the 10-yard line, and the Badgers will have the football there, 1st down and 10. Wildcats have played very well defensively in this football game tonight. As Arlington Lake Preston will show a pistol look as Hoyer working the backfield. And he'll roll, now keep it himself. It was a run-pass option, and Hoyer will keep it, move the football up across the 10, brought down at the 5 line as Justin Becker gets in there and with positive yardage out to the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, and it will bring up 2nd down. Getting in on the stop once again for Kimball White Lake with Justin Becker. Down, 5 yards to go for Arlington Lake Preston once again. Again, a pistol formation. They take the snap. And upfield, Hoyer will keep it himself, and he is going to be back. So Hoyer gets a couple more. He brings the football up to the 17-yard line now. And it will be 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. So the Badgers need to move the football to about the 22-yard line. Down situation here. Lake's defense to make a stand. And here is Hoyer back to pass. He's going to fire it downfield. He's got a man. Pass is caught. And making the catch upfield, that is Tate Larson, and he got behind that man coverage, and he was able to burn Kimball White Lake, and he'll have a 1st down as they move the football into Kimball White Lake territory to the 40-yard line. So from the Wildcat 40-yard line, they will have it 1st down and 10. Clock is stopped here with 6:45 remaining in the 2nd quarter, pardon me. It's an 8-0 lead for Kimball White Lake. As the Badgers with He'll head upfield, and he's going to be brought down, and another nice open field tackle made by Kimball White Lake, and that keeps Hoyer out of the end zone, and it will be 4th down and goal as they place the football at the 4-yard line. So good coverage, first of all, for the Wildcats. Arlington Lake Preston had nowhere to go, and Devin Hoyer, the quarterback, rolling to his left, did a good job of just doing what he could, realizing he couldn't throw the football. He just made a nice run down to the, call it the 3-yard line. It will be 4th down and goal from there. We talked about Kimball White Lake, or Arlington Lake Preston needing to make a defensive stand on the Wildcats last drive. Same thing goes here. Hoyer upfield to the back of the end zone, pass is incomplete. And Kimball White Lake is able to turn over Arlington Lake Preston on downs, and we'll have the football here after the Badgers move the football from their own 11-yard line. They get down to the 4, and 9 plays later, they're turned away. White Lake will have the football, 1st down and 10. They have 2 timeouts remaining, 3:03 remaining in this opening, or in this first half. Wildcats with 2 timeouts remaining here. Javen Holland will work under center. From the 3-yard line, they'll hand the football off, and just some power running there. The running back, the tailback, Frederickson, will move the football out to the 5-yard line. So a short gain there of about 2 yards. Call it a gain of 3, and it will bring up 2nd down. 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats, who are content to let the clock run here. Would not be surprised if perhaps Arlington Lake Preston could make a stop here on this 2nd down play. If they wouldn't maybe use one of their 2 remaining timeouts to try to save a little time. But see what happens here on this 2nd down play. As Holman will take the snap and hand the football off. This is Frederickson who will break free, and he is on the move, and up the field he goes, trying to make a man miss. He is still on his feet, and he brings the football out to midfield. A penalty flag. Well, was that a penalty flag or a beanbag or something from the sidelines that winds up thrown? But let's wait and see. Should be a 1st down either way, as Carter Frederickson, fighting for yardage, brought the football out to the 50-yard line. But let's sort out the penalty. I think what happened is the official threw the penalty, and the wind carried it to the Kimball sideline. It is going to be a penalty against the Wildcats. football, and he'll bring it up across the 35 and to the 40-yard line. He'll be stood up there and pushed back, and Arlington Lake Preston will have an opportunity with the football. Just a handful of seconds remaining, 27 seconds to be exact, left here in this first half. Been a defensive football game for sure, and a fast-moving football game as well. 8-0 is our score as Kimball White Lake has the lead. Quarterback Devin Hoyer will show a shotgun look this time as he'll spread 3 receivers out wide. This has been a formation where they've run out of a passing play as Herb steps up and fires the deep ball, and the pass is tipped. And is it caught or is it intercepted? It's going to be intercepted by Kimball White Lake. Carter Fredrickson makes the defensive play there. As that time Hoyer just trying to push it downfield, and with 19 seconds remaining in the quarter, would not be surprised to see the Wildcats just take a knee here and head to the end zone and talk about a good first half of football where they have an 8-0 lead, and they have survived some penalties in this football game, but still are going to have the advantage as we go to the intermission. Owen will show a pistol look as they'll run 2 receivers out wide to the right side. Fredrickson will stay in the backfield alongside the quarterback, Jaden Holland. Blitz comes, and will set up a screen, and this is Caden Lenz, and he has stood up. Getting away is Lenz, and he is finally brought down. No gain, in fact, a big-time loss in the play back to the 20-yard line, and Kimball White Lake content to just let the clock run to 0, and we are at the halftime break. Scoreboard comes to you from Darren Boyle Sales. Check out most of the lot on Sale Barn Road and Ford here. Latest information at DarrenBoyleSales.com. 8-0 is our score. Kimball White Lake has the lead over Arlington Lake Preston. We'll take a 3-minute break and return. Our By-Rite Seeds halftime report is next on KPLO.
Ray Hybrids is dedicated to the success of their northern farmers. They provide industry-leading technology backed by agronomic expertise that fits the unique needs of local farmers. Choose Ray Hybrids for custom northern farming solutions. They know the north. Contact By-Rite Seeds in Miller or Darren Boyle Sales in Fort Pierre to learn more. Always read and follow stewardship and pesticide label directions.
The future of our region lies in the young people who are involved in athletics, music, art and drama, and the many other organizations in our schools. Al's Oasis Clothing, Restaurant, and Gift Shop congratulates everyone who contributes and competes during the school year. We're proud of all you do and happy to support the many activities in our area schools. We appreciate the many young people who work part-time with us at Al's Oasis. Good luck and enjoy your high school years from all of us at Al's Oasis Clothing, Gift Shop, and Restaurant.
The right nutrition, animal health, and record management is key to having a profitable cattle program. That's why you want to work with the people at Farmco, who will take the time to learn your operation and help you grow your business. We are your full-service agriculture provider of feed, seed, animal health, farm, and ranching equipment built on terrific service. Get to know Farmco locally owned and serving you in Chamberlain, Platte, Winnard, and east of Kimball at the Paragon. Visit us online at farmcosd.com. Farmco, feeding your future.
At Harry K's, we do what it takes to offer you the right vehicle at the right price. Here's a fresh trade at Harry K's Chevrolet in Chamberlain, Oklahoma. Check out this 2017 Chevrolet Equinox LT1, 45,000 miles, 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. The Equinox is our most popular SUV. It's fuel efficient and priced at just $17,775. We will make it happen for you at the Harry K GM store in Chamberlain, Oklahoma, or the Harry K Ford store in Winter, your go-to family-owned dealerships.
This holiday season, eat, drink, and shop locally. And to make budgeting easier, Bank West is offering Christmas dollar loans. Christmas dollar loans provide a low annual percent and may be used at any participating local business. Stop in and apply today. Bank West. Convenience, connected, committed.
3% APR with automatic payment from a Bank West account. Equal opportunity lender. Loan subject to approval. Member FDIC.
Overwag Repair in Kimball is a full-service repair center with a team of highly trained and certified technicians. From oil changes to complex computer diagnostics, roadside assistance, and towing, you can rely on them to be your one-stop service center. Hometown repair from people. Overwag Repair, 725 South Main Street in Kimball.
Back here in Arlington, we are at halftime of a very good 9AA playoff matchup. The Kimball White Lake Wildcats, Arlington Badgers playing a real defensive battle here in this first half, and it was Kimball White Lake scored on their opening possession of this football game. They have an 8-0 lead as we work in the halftime break, as both of these teams we knew coming in were going to want to run the football, and sometimes when both teams want to do the same things offensively, the defenses are the ones that step up, and it has been the defenses from both of these teams that have come up big in the first half of this football game. We talked about Arlington Lake Preston. It started out with the football. They were forced into a passing situation in their opening drive. A big quarterback sack by Kimball White Lake buried the Badgers deep in their own territory. They had to punt the football away as the Wildcats of Kimball White Lake had the football for the first time from their own 45-yard line, starting a drive, and they were able to put points on the board on that opening drive. They scored at the 4:41 mark of the opening quarter. As we go to our lone scoring highlight of the first half, it was Carter Fredrickson who scored on a 2-yard touchdown run. And Holland will hand it off. Fredrickson right up the middle, and he is in, and that's a touchdown. We'll call it a 2-yard touchdown run for Carter Fredrickson. Justin Becker with the 2-point conversion. He caught the pass from Jabin Holland. It was a 6-play, 55-yard scoring drive, and Kimball White Lake had that 8-0 lead, and that's where we went. That's where we were at the end of the opening quarter. Arlington Lake Preston had their best drive of the football game after Kimball White Lake had one of their worst. They got the ball, the Wildcats had the football deep into Arlington territory, had the football inside the 5, but a costly penalty, and the Wildcats have had plenty of those in the first half. In fact, the Wildcats were penalized 6 times for 40 yards in the first half. They were not able to take advantage of 2 Arlington Lake Preston turnovers. They had the football inside the Badger 10-yard line at their 5. A penalty moved them back, and then they wound up turning the football over on downs. Arlington Lake Preston had the football at the 11-yard line to start a drive. They moved the football all the way to their own 3-yard line. But Kimball White Lake's defense was up to the challenge, and they were able to force Arlington Lake Preston, turn them away from the goal line, and they were able to hang on to that 8-0 lead. As mentioned, the defenses have definitely come to play, and the defenses have definitely set the tone in this football game in the first 24 minutes of play. But a lot of football to be played here on a very nice night in Arlington, South Dakota. After we take a 3-minute timeout, we'll come back and we'll try to recap other scores that we can and some of the other playoff brackets. We'll talk about that and more as our halftime continues. Again, we'll pause for 3 minutes. You're listening to Regional High School Football from KPLO.
Kimball Clark is a proud supporter of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats. When you're traveling on I-90, be sure to take exit 284 and stop in for all of your fuel and snack needs. When you're looking for a delicious snack, be sure to grab an original Kimball popcorn ball. Kimball Clark on Main Street in Kimball. Go Wildcats!
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is Sportsman School Sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Giving back to the communities where we live, work, and worship is something Thrivent Financial takes pride in. Strengthening communities and helping you be wise with money is part of Thrivent's mission as a not-for-profit financial services organization. And that's why Thrivent is a proud sponsor of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats. Your Thrivent Financial representative is Mike Reimer. To learn more, call 234-0382. Thrivent Financial, connecting faith and finances for good.
You see it all the time when you're heading along I-90. You get to Kimball, and there it is. Ditties. Next time you drive by, why not head on in? If you're traveling past it now, why not head on in? Try some of Ditties' crispy, crunchy chicken. The best chicken you've never tasted. Try it once, you'll be back again. Ditties features smoked brisket and pulled pork. And make room for Ditties on your weekend calendar for smoked prime rib. Served each Friday and Saturday night. Breakfast served all day. Ditties, 801 South Main Street in Kimball. Go Wildcats!
There's a lot of uncertainties in farming and ranching today, but one thing is certain. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell are your crop and livestock insurance specialists. Statewide agents have a background in agriculture and work hard to provide growers and ranchers with risk management plans and insurance coverage that fits their business needs. From hail insurance, livestock revenue protection, to multi-peril crop and revenue insurance, Statewide will help you with the right decisions. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell. Locally owned, your dependable partner in crop and livestock protection and equal opportunity provider.
The future of our region lies in the young people who are involved in athletics, music, art and drama, and the many other organizations in our schools. Al's Oasis Clothing, Restaurant, and Gift Shop congratulates everyone who contributes and competes during the school year. We're proud of all you do and happy to support the many activities in our area schools. We appreciate the many young people who work part-time with us at Al's Oasis. Good luck and enjoy your high school years from all of us at Al's Oasis Clothing, Gift Shop, and Restaurant.
With John Neff at Dakota Radio Group's World Headquarters, I'm Darren Boyle. We thank you for joining us tonight for coverage of Round 2 of the South Dakota High School Football Playoffs. We'd like to welcome those of you joining us online at drgnews.com or also checking us out worldwide on the YouTube channel. You can always send me your comments and questions. My email address is Darren Boyle at dakotaradiogroup.com. We have some updated scores. In fact, a lot of scores to talk about. We'll start first with the 9AA playoffs. They are late in the first quarter. It's 28-6. Wolsey Wessington leading Irene Wakanda. Bonham and Gregory, they're late in the second quarter. It is Bonham with a 7-6 lead. The other game in the 9AA bracket has Garrettson out in front of Webster. That is a 14-7 score. In the 9A playoffs, it's Timberlake leading New Underwood. That score is 16-6. I believe they are at halftime. Canastota Freeman leading Alcester Hudson 30-0. Britton Hecla defeats Corsica Stickney 58-6. The final in that game, Howard and Warner, they are at halftime. It is Howard 8 and Warner 6. In the 9B playoffs, late in quarter number 2, Sully Buttes with a 30-0 lead over Kadoka. Faulkton area leading Burke 16-8. That is at halftime. Cologne leading Coleman Egan 14-8. Wall leading Castlewood by a score of 7-0. In the 11B playoffs, Mount Vernon Plankington lead Deadwood 34-0. Bridgewater Emory Ethan out in front of Mobridge Pollock 26-6. Winter and Sioux Falls Christian, we expected that ball game to be a good one, and it is. It is Winter with a 6-0 lead over the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, and Canton leading Aberdeen Roncalli 19-0. In the 11A playoffs, one final, West Central defeats Todd County. An earlier kickoff, a long road trip for West Central as they played in Mission tonight. 23 lead. In the 11AA playoffs, they are at halftime in Pierre. It is Pierre leading Spearfish 35-0. Mitchell and Brookings are scoreless. They are late in quarter number 2. Yankton and Sturgis, they are in the fourth quarter. It is Yankton with a 14-9 lead. Huron leads Harrisburg by a 14-0 score. And in the 11AA playoffs, Sioux Falls Roosevelt defeats Aberdeen Central. That game is final, 55-14, the final in that ball game. At halftime, Sioux Falls O'Gorman leads Sioux Falls Lincoln 41-7. They are also at halftime between Sioux Falls Washington and Watertown. Sioux Falls Washington with a 14-0 lead, and Brandon Valley all over Rapid City Central. The score in that football game is 47-0. We invite you to So Vikings football in KPLO. The Vikings will play Sunday night football, New Orleans Saints from U.S. Bank Stadium. Kickoff scheduled for shortly after 7 p.m. Vikings pregame will come at 6 p.m. on your home for Minnesota Vikings football, KPLO. Next Tuesday night, we will have opening round coverage of the Region 6A volleyball tournament. Crow Creek and Chamberlain will renew acquaintances at the Chamberlain Armory, and we'll have that matchup for you as we'll get things underway with match coverage around 7 p.m. Next Tuesday as the postseason for volleyball gets underway on KPLO. 8-0, Kimball White Lake has the lead over the Arlington Lake Preston Badgers, and the Wildcats will have the football to start quarter number 3 after we take a 2-minute break. You're listening to coverage of the South Dakota High School Football Playoffs on KPLO.
The right nutrition, animal health, and record management is key to having a profitable cattle program. That's why you want to work with the people at Farmco, who will take the time to learn your operation and help you grow your business. We are your full-service agriculture provider of feed, seed, animal health, farm, and ranching equipment built on terrific service. Get to know Farmco locally owned and serving you in Chamberlain, Platte, Winter, and east of Kimball at the Paragon. Visit us online at farmcosd.com. Farmco, feeding your future.
At Harry K's, we do what it takes to offer you the right vehicle at the right price. Here's a fresh trade at Harry K's Chevrolet in Chamberlain, Oklahoma. Check out this 2017 Chevrolet Equinox LT1, 45,000 miles, 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. The Equinox is our most popular SUV. It's fuel efficient and priced at just $17,775. We will make it happen for you at the Harry K GM store in Chamberlain, Oklahoma, or the Harry K Ford store in Winter, your go-to family-owned dealerships.
This holiday season, Bank West encourages you to eat, drink, and shop locally. And to make budgeting easier, Bank West is offering Christmas dollar loans. Christmas dollar loans provide a low annual percentage rate of just 3% and may be used at any participating local business. Stop in and apply today. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed.
3% APR with automatic payment from a Bank West account. Equal opportunity lender. Loan subject to approval. Member FDIC.
Overwag Repair in Kimball is a full-service repair center with a team of highly trained and certified technicians. From oil changes to complex computer diagnostics, roadside assistance, and towing, you can rely on them to be your one-stop service center. Hometown repair from people who care. Overwag Repair, 725 South Main Street in Kimball.
Quarters, I'm Darren Boyle. You listen to coverage of regional high school for the South Dakota High School Football Playoffs on KPLO. Reliance, Chamberlain, and Kimball and White Lake and 100.5 FM in Pierre, Fort Pierre, proud members of the Dakota Radio Group. Brian Buman will kick off, and it will be Caden Lenz who will field the football from the 15-yard line. He'll bring it up across the 20 and the 5 to the 30 and up, with forward progress. He was able to squirt out of a tackle and move his way up to the 40-yard line. And since the opening drive of the football game, that has been the best field position for the Wildcats as they start their first drive of this second half. 8-0 is our score as Kimball White Lake works with the lead. They have football at times, and when they've gotten in a little bit of trouble, they've been able to find Justin Becker. One big pass play in the first quarter was big for the Wildcats to put points on the board. Here's Carter Fredrickson with the carry, and Fredrickson will squirt out of a tackle, spin out of another, and he'll move his way up near the midfield stripe, and that will be at least a 9-yard gain. We'll see what kind of forward progress he gets. They will move it just inside the 50-yard line, so that will be about an 11-yard run there for Carter Fredrickson, and that will be a first down for Kimball White Lake. So they find themselves in Badger territory here as they will get ready to go to work. Under center is Holen. Slot to the left side. They'll work the jet sweep to the outside. Fredrickson took a big-time shot. It will be a short gain there. A penalty flag comes in late as well. So let's sort the penalty out. And if it's against Kimball White Lake, it will just add to the costly and a holding penalty against the Wildcats. That will be penalty number 7 of this football game, and that will get them up to 50 yards in penalties. And That'll really slow down a running game that was really humming here on their first few plays. Just so you know, Arlington Lake Preston has not committed a penalty, at least by my stats, in this football game so far. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul, moves the football back to the Wildcat 43-yard line. It will be first down and about 16 yards to go from there, as Holen will run the inside handoff. Caden Lenz with it, and he'll move it up across the 45 to the 46-yard line. So a short running play there will set up a second down and about 12 yards to go for the Wildcats, who are operating here in their first possession of the second half. The Wildcats with a 8-0 lead as they try to move on to the semifinals of the football playoffs. And if the Wildcats are able to hang on here, we'll have that game for you next Friday night. Here on KPLO. Of a shotgun look as he is backed up the pocket, fires it upfield. Pass is caught as the reception is made, and fighting for extra yardage. I believe that is Becker up to the he moves the football forward and gets it inside the 28-yard line. So a nice run there. Carter Lenz the ball carrier, Fredrickson the ball carrier, as he moves the football inside the 30 and to the Arlington 48-yard line. He has done a good job carrying the football tonight. He's also made a couple nice defense. Again, the Wildcats have something cooking. Play number 6 of a drive here, and a handoff right up the middle, and this is Ty Namany with the carry. His second carry of the football game, but some positive yardage there. Inside the 15, down to about the 12. And everybody expecting Fredrickson to get the football, and that frees things up for the fullback, Ty Namany, the 185 senior, right up the middle for double-digit yard. It will be another first down for Kimball White Lake. Trying to add to that 8-0 lead. They will work with the football here. And a handoff. Again, it's Namany looking for running room, and he'll be stopped short of the 5 at about the 6, but a good job there by the Wildcat offensive line, just creating some space as they move the football forward. And it will be second down and goal. Second down, and about 4 with the football in at about the 6-yard line. So the Wildcats can pick up a first down without scoring as they walk to the line of scrimmage here. They operate from the center of the field as Javen Holen will bring them up. Carter Fredrickson, the tailback, they'll give him the rock, and Fredrickson inside the 5 to about the 2, and he's pushed back, but that should be enough for a first down as they'll give him forward progress. And it will be first down and goal from there, and an opportunity for Kimball White Lake, who scored on their first possession of the football game, to really do some damage and really take advantage of field position, take advantage of having the football to start the second half. Chance for them to get up by 2 scores. They'll have 4 cracks at it. First and goal from the 2. Holen under center. Hands it off. Anderson in against Kimball White Lake. Penalty number 8 in this football game moves them back 5 yards. And back to the 7-yard line is where they have the football. First down and goal from there. As not only has Kimball White Lake chewed up some big chunks of yardage here in this third quarter, but they have also taken over 4 minutes off the clock here in quarter number 3, and that's a big part of what the running game of the Wildcats. That's what they like to do, and that's why they usually have some good playoff runs, is because of how they manage themselves and how they manage games late in October. Holen will keep it himself. Play action, fires it upfield. Pass is thrown low and incomplete. He had Justin Becker, but just enough pressure. Holen, who was trying to roll to his right, threw that just a little bit low, and it's incomplete. It will bring up second down and goal. Had him open, but threw the football just a little bit short. And Becker, with that 6'8" frame, couldn't pick the football up off the top of his shoes, and it'll be second down and goal. Football officially at the 6-yard line. 7:34 remains in the third quarter. 8-0, Kimball White Lake has the lead. The Wildcats with it. They give it to Fredrickson, who bounces to the outside and tries to turn it up, and he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Got inside the 5 to about the 4. And it will be third down and goal. But Fredrickson picked up some positive yardage on that play. Makes third down more manageable. This is definitely 4-down territory as well. 8-0. Has the lead. Looking for more. They walk to the last scrimmage. Hold under center. They guess is Caden Lenz, and Lenz will dive to the end zone. Is he in? Yes, touchdown. Caden Lenz with a 4-yard, and again, a good play call by Dale Taylor and the Kimball White Lake Wildcat. That's a 4-yard Caden Lenz run, and with 6:55 remaining in the third quarter, the Wild 0 lead over Arlington Lake Preston. That is an 11-play, 60-yard drive. As the Wildcats get ready to go for 2. Nolan looking, rolling, firing. Pass is caught. 2-point conversion is good. That is Ty Namany with the 2-point conversion. And with 6:55 remaining in the third quarter, it is Kimball White Lake with a 16-0 lead over Arlington Lake Preston. And the Wildcats will kick off after we take a 60-second break on KPLO.
Kimball Clark is a proud supporter of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats. When you're traveling on I-90, be sure to take exit 284 and stop in for all of your fuel and snack needs. When you're looking for a delicious snack, be sure to grab an original Kimball popcorn ball. Kimball Clark on Main Street in Kimball. Go Wildcats!
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
6:55 remains here as we work in quarter number 3. And it is a 16-0 lead for Kimball White Lake. That Caden Lenz touchdown run capped off an 11-play, 60-yard drive for the Wildcats to start the second half. They survived a 5-yard penalty after they had the football inside the 5-yard line, but they were able to punch it in this time as Lenz will get set to kick it off. And back deep, we will see Gavin Holland and Miguel Campos, and this will be a short kick that Holland will field from his own 20-yard line. Penalty flag comes out as Holland with the return up across the 30 to the, it'll be across the 25 to the 30-yard line, but this play is going to come back. Holland had to field it on the bounce first of all after it was a short kick, and it's going to be a holding penalty on the return against Arlington Lake Preston, their first penalty of the football game, and that will give them a tough spot to start their first drive of the second half. And that was a well-placed kick there by Kimball White Lake and Caden Lenz, just kicking it high enough and long enough to get it over that second level, but to get it in front of the return men who had to field and had to wait for the ball to get there first. So now Arlington Lake Preston will work. Devin Hoyer is the quarterback who will operate from the pistol formation alongside is Gavin Holland. They'll work with 3 wide receivers. And it will be Holland who will get the football, and he has nowhere to go. Some good defensive play up front as the Kimball White Lake defense gets in there to make the stop. I believe that was Bo Donald that gets up off the bottom of the pile. No gain on the play. And it will maybe be a loss of about a half a yard on the play. And it will bring up second down and about 11 yards to go. Again, Hoyer will operate in the pistol formation. Digs out another low snap as he's back to pass. He's going to fire it upfield, and the pass is incomplete. Penalty flag is going to come out. There was a lot of contact upfield, and a penalty flag is going to come out, and I think we're going to see pass interference whistled against Kimball White Lake, and that will give the Wild. Well, let's wait and see as they're going to confer, and it's going to be pass interference against the offense. There was a lot of contact, and from our mind, in our eyes, Javen Holen, who was playing deep safety there, had the best opportunity at the football, and the man, Brian Buman, was the intended receiver downfield, and he had to do what he could to keep Holen from intercepting it. So they're going to mark that off, and it will be another 10-yard penalty, and that will move the football back to the 4-yard line, or inside the 10, pardon me, at the 6-yard line, and that will bring up a, they'll redo second down. It'll be second and about 18. Turns out to be just a 5-yard penalty on that offensive pass interference. So Arlington Lake Preston has it. Hoyer, under the shadow of his own goalpost, will call an audible here as he works in that pistol formation and waits for the snap. A long count here as he will take the snap and go play action, looking to roll, looking for some running room, but nowhere to go, and that was Tyler Riesick that got in there and made the defensive play, made a nice defensive stop, and Hoyer had nowhere to go. Little I spy that time as that was Tyler Riesick keeping his eye on the quarterback all the way, and no gain, and it will bring up a third down and 17 yards to go for Arlington Lake Preston, who are trying to not go 3 and out on their first possession of the second half. They trail by a 16-0 score as they'll send 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and Hoyer has to pick up the snap off the ground. Rolling to his right now, being pursued. Pass upfield, it is caught, and close to the first down. The reception is made. The reception upfield to Tate Larson, but let's see where they mark the football. It will be across the 20 at the 22-yard line. They are going to be about 4 yards short. Hoyer had to run a long ways to get some space. Bo Donnell was in pursuit. And Arlington Lake Preston is going to have to kick the football away, and the Wildcats are going to wind up with some good field position. The quarterback, Hoyer, is the punter, and it is a good punt, and it will be fielded by Caden Lenz from his own 38-yard line. He'll bring it up and get to the midfield stripe, and he'll be gang tackled there. But for Kimball White Lake, their second drive of the second half gives them their best field position of the football game. They will have it at their own 49-yard line, leading by a 16-0 score with 5:08 remaining as we work here in quarter number 3. So the Wildcats have pretty much worked this the way we thought it was going to go. Head coach Dale Taylor said coming in wanted his team to be able to run the football. Their defense has been able to slow down Arlington Lake Preston's running game. And also, they've been able to force some turnovers. And here is a handoff, Ty Namany with it, and Namany just about breaks it, and only a jersey-grabbing tackle made there by Logan Williams will slow down Namany, who looked like he was going to be able to bust it down the left sideline for a touchdown, but he's going to be stopped after a 6-yard gain, and it will bring up second down and 4. The football now resting at the 44-yard line of Arlington Lake Preston. And a little bit as Namany appears to be shaken up as he limps his way to the sideline. But Kimball White Lake can also work to manage the clock just a little bit as Hoyer will walk the football, or pardon me, that is Holen will walk the football up to the line of scrimmage. They go read option. This is Carter Fredrickson, and Fredrickson, with a tough couple-yard gain there, moves the football to the 43 as the tackle made by Tate Larson be a gain of another yard, and it will be third down. We'll call it a short 4 or a long 3, depending on your view. As we are inside of 4 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. Kimball White Lake 16. Arlington Lake Preston 0. This quarterfinal game of the 9AA playoffs. Poland will work from the center of the field. Power eye look, and Kimball White Lake will use timeout number 1 of the second half. Timeouts come to you from Hutch's Cafe and Lounge in Presho. And your next timeout, stop by Hutch's Cafe and Lounge for a great meal and beverage. And we will take a 30-second break and return on KPLO.
Giving back to the communities where we live, work, and worship is something Thrive-In Financial takes pride in. Strengthening communities and helping you be wise with money is part of Thrive-In's mission as a not-for-profit financial services organization. And that's why Thrive-In is a proud sponsor of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats. Your Thrive-In Financial representative is Mike Reimer. To learn more, call 234-0382. Thrive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances for good.
Third down and 4 yards to go. Await Kimball White Lake as they come out of the timeout here. That timeout came from the sideline. Head coach Dale Taylor sees something in that defensive alignment of the Badgers that caused him to use timeout number 1 of the second half. This is a big third down for Kimball White Lake that if they want to continue to control the momentum in this second half. They've been able to do it so far, and the Wildcats will run out of a double wing, and they'll hand the football off, and behind that big offensive line, Carter Fredrickson is going to be close. We'll see if they give him forward progress to the 40. It will be just a little bit short, and from our vantage point, he's going to be just a little bit short, and this is an interesting spot for Kimball White Lake. It'll be 4th down, less than a yard to go, and of course, in the 9-man ranks, you don't change out your personnel much when you punt the football away, but we have hardly seen any personnel change for the Wildcats on this play, and they've been able to control the line of scrimmage with that big offensive line, and here's time where they can really change the momentum. Olin will work under center, and he'll keep it himself, and he'll get a push from behind, and he'll fall forward, and he'll have the first down. So they needed about half a yard. They got about a yard and a half as they moved the football inside the Arlington Lake Preston 30 or 40-yard line to the 39, and that will be a first down for the Wildcats. And that will keep the clock running as we are inside of 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The Wildcats with a 16-0 lead as they look to put more points on the board and really put pressure on this Arlington Lake Preston offense in the fourth quarter. Here is Holen. Pass upfield. It is caught. A nice catch made there downfield. That is Justin Becker making another big catch. And just about when Arlington Lake Preston starts to cheat up and play the run, then Kimball White Lake has been able to use a little play action. They used misdirection on their last drive and ran a sweep out of that double wing, which caught everybody off guard. And Caden Lenz was able to score on that 4-yard touchdown run. But here, play action and a pass up field to Becker will move the football to the 26-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Wildcats once again. They'll line up from the right hash mark. Hand off Fredrickson, looking for running room, and Fredrickson still fighting for yardage. Will get to about the 23-yard line, and that is all. Arlington Lake Preston really pursuing the football and gang tackling there. Damon Larson, Miguel Campos, and others in there to make the stop. Carter Fredrickson has earned his yardage here tonight. He scored the first touchdown of the football game on a 2-yard touchdown run, and he has picked up some big yardage. The senior running back has played well for the Wildcats tonight. Double wing look this time as Vanderwerf will go in motion to the right. They'll pitch it to Fredrickson, who looks to get the corner turned. He will get the corner turned, and he'll dive toward the marker, and he'll be, I believe, just a little bit short. Of course, as the play goes to that sideline, the chain gang gets out of the way, and they drop the markers, and so we can't see exactly where they're at, but they're going to be about 2 yards short. So it will be third down and about 2, and for the Wildcats, this is 4-down territory. 16-0, they lead. We work late in quarter number 3. We are in the final minute of the third quarter. And here the handoff up the middle And a short gain there. Not sure if it was Namany or if it was Vanderwerf. It is Namany with the carry, and he'll move the football inside the 15, and that will be a first down for Kimball White Lake. And it was good to see Ty Namany, who was shaken up a few plays ago, limp to the sideline. Good to see him back in the ball game as the touchdown, or pardon me, the first down run, or the run resulting in a first down, will give the Wildcats an opportunity to chew up the clock here in quarter number 3, pardon me. Javen Holland, the quarterback, full house backfield. Handoff up the middle, Namany, and he will not get much that time as the Badger defense steps in there, and the gain will be a short one, if any. Maybe a half a yard or so on the gain, and it will bring up second down and 9, as the Wildcats do not have to get another play off before we move to the fourth quarter. They will try, though, as they will walk to the line of scrimmage, and our third quarter will come to a close. Scoreboard comes to you from Darren Boyle Sales. I invite you to check out the farm equipment available at my lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre, including new Morris hay hikers and Fair Manufacturing bale processors. Check them out online at DarrenBoyleSales.com. 16-0, Kimball White Lake leads as we go to the fourth quarter on KPLO.
You see it all the time when you're heading along I-90. You get to Kimball, and there it is. Ditties. Next time you drive by, why not head on in? If you're traveling past it now, why not head on in? Try some of Ditties crispy, crunchy chicken. The best chicken you've never tasted. Try it once, you'll be back again. Ditties features smoked brisket and pulled pork. And make room for Ditties on your weekend calendar for smoked prime rib. Served each Friday and Saturday night. Breakfast served all day. Ditties, 801 South Main Street in Kimball. Go Wildcats!
There's a lot of uncertainties in farming and ranching today, but one thing is certain. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell are your crop and livestock insurance specialists. Statewide agents have a background in agriculture and work hard to provide growers and ranchers with risk management plans and insurance coverage that fits their business needs. From hail insurance, livestock revenue protection, to multi-peril crop and revenue insurance, Statewide will help you with the right decisions. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell. Locally owned, your dependable partner in crop and livestock protection and equal opportunity provider.
We'll update some scores quickly. They are, it's final in Pierre. The Governors defeat Spearfish in their first round playoff game, 54-14. T-Area defeats Hot Springs, 33-0. Sully Butte's leading Kadoka Area, 38-0 at the half. Here it is 16-0. Kimball White Lake leads. They'll run that option left, and then they give the football to Ty Namany. And Namany's going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage, and they've... Again, he'll be stopped for no gain, and it will be third down and about 6 yards to go for Kimball White Lake, who have got the football after Arlington Lake Preston's punt. This will be the 11th play that they have run. They have chewed up a big batch of time, most of the third quarter. They'll start the fourth quarter with the football at the Badger 10-yard line. Holland back to pass, under some pressure, and he can't get away, and down he goes. That time the coverage was good downfield, and the tackle made, the quarterback sack, Brian Buman, with the sack. It moves the football back to the 15-yard line, and it will be fourth down and 10 from there. And from this spot on the field, Kimball White Lake really with not much of an option to go for, but to go for it here. And Arlington Lake Preston shows some life. They need to make a play happen of some sort to give themselves some momentum. Kimball White Lake was able to take care of business in the first half, control the clock, and have that 8-0 lead at halftime, and they scored the lone touchdown of the third quarter, and they'll take timeout number 2 on this 4th and 10 play early here in quarter number 4. We have 10:42 remaining in the ball game. 16-0 Kimball White Lake. And we're back in 30 seconds on KPLO.
The future of our region lies in the young people who are involved in athletics, music, art and drama, and the many other organizations in our schools. Al's Oasis Clothing, Restaurant, and Gift Shop congratulates everyone who contributes and competes during the school year. We're proud of all you do and happy to support the many activities in our area schools. We appreciate the many young people who work part-time with us at Al's Oasis. Good luck and enjoy your high school years from all of us at Al's Oasis Clothing, Gift Shop, and Restaurant.
Stay with us here in our post game as we will bring you the KPLO Midwest Cooperative Player of the Game, and we'll also update what scores that we have. And a big play, 4th down and 10 here as Kimball White Lake has the football. They have it at the Arlington Lake Preston 15-yard line, and they'll pitch it to Fredrickson. Fredrickson looking for some running room, looking to pass first, but he'll keep it himself. Now he'll play some keep away, and he'll finally be brought down, and just good coverage downfield by Arlington Lake Preston, and Carter Fredrickson took a lot of time off the clock there. He ran and played keep away for a good 10 seconds or so, but on that option pass really had nowhere to go with the football. And Arlington Lake Preston will turn Kimball White Lake over on downs, and they will have the football for their second possession of the half, but they will not have good field position. They will have it at their own 20-yard line, 1st down and 10, and they are down by 2 scores. So now the Badgers have some work to do. Devin Hoyer is the quarterback. Again, they'll work in that pistol formation. Again, it's a low snap as they'll give the football off, and this is Gavin Holland, who will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Good play defensively as Cordell Keene got in there and made the stop. Others for Kimball White Lake help out as well. Loss of a couple yards on the play, and it will bring up 2nd down. And we've mentioned it several times in this football game that the quarterback, Devin Hoyer, has had to dig low snaps out of that pistol formation. Now he'll work shotgun as the Badgers are going to have to air it out a little bit. Better snap this time as Hoyer will roll to his left. He'll fire it upfield, and he'll overshoot the intended receiver, Brian Buman. And he was open. He got between the 2 layers of defense, and coverage was Cody Westendorf. And Carter Fredrickson was playing deep safety, and he got over there over the top of that play. But there was an opportunity inside there for Buman to catch the football, but the pass was thrown over his head and incomplete, and now it's 3rd down and 11 for Arlington Lake Preston. So the Kimball White Lake defense answering the challenge here. The Wildcats trying to force a 3 and out. Hoyer again, all alone in the backfield in the shotgun. Back to pass, they're going to fire it across the grain, and the pass is caught, but right there to make the tackle was Kimball White Lake, and that, I believe, was Cody Westendorf that made the stop. They tried to throw a little misdirection. Jasper Dennison caught the pass. He was behind the line of scrimmage, and I think he was just trying to get open in space, but it was defended well by the Wildcats, and it's 4th and forever, and Kimball White Lake is again going to wind up with some real good field position as Devin Hoyer will stand in punt formation. He'll take the snap. This will give Caden Lenz an opportunity, but he had to reach forward to make the catch and could not advance on the punt. And a line drive punt, no return there. But Kimball White Lake will have the football from their own 40-yard line, and they will work there 1st down and 10. And not only would they love to get some more points on the board, but with 9:16 remaining, they want to be able to also work the clock as they would love to take 2-3 minutes off the clock. The Wildcats have used 2 timeouts in this second half already. Arlington Lake Preston has not used a timeout so far. Javen Holan will work under center here as they show a power eye look. Handoff up the middle and a whistle, and another penalty flag flies, and again, it is going to be false start against the Wildcats. That is the 5th false start for Kimball White Lake in this football game. They have had 10 penalties so far. Their 2nd of the second half. They've had 2 offsides. They've had 5 false starts, a hold, and also an illegal block on a punt return. So they have been penalized a bunch in this football game, and that was one thing that Dale Taylor did not want to see. But they still hang on with a 2-touchdown lead as Namany will come in motion. They'll hand it off. Caden Lenz looking for running room as he will spin out of a would-be tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he'll get the penalty yards back as he moves it up to the 40-yard line. And it will bring up a 2nd down and 10 situation. Of course, if Kimball White Lake hangs on, they will play in the semifinals next Friday night. We'll have that game for you on KPLO. 2nd down, 10 yards to go as the Wildcats work from the center of the field. The clock right now continues to run, and that is friendly to the road team. The Wildcats trying to head home with a victory, keep their season going. Here, movement and a penalty whistled against Arlington Lake Preston. The Badgers need to make something happen, so they, a little aggressive at the line of scrimmage, will commit the 5-yard infraction, and that makes a 2nd down much easier. It'll be 2nd down and 5. And the clock will wind once again. And if you're Kimball White Lake, they can be as patient as they want to as they head to the line of scrimmage. Power eye look, offset to the left side. They work from the center of the field. Holen under center, gives it to Fredrickson, who makes one man miss and then another. He is caught behind the line of scrimmage, and then he'll be spun back for a loss. They give him forward progress to the 37, which will turn out to be a loss of about 2. Loss of a yard on the play, actually. We're waiting for him to place the football. They place it at the 36. So it'll be a loss of a yard, and it will bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 6 yards to go. As the Wildcats walk to the line of scrimmage. Ty Namany is out there, but I can tell you he is not moving well as he's still favoring a leg as they hand the football off to Caden Lenz. Lenz will spin out of a tackle, and then with good power running, he'll bring the football inside the 20 and get the football down to about the, inside the 30, and down to the 26-yard line. And that will be enough for a 1st down. So Kimball White Lake will be able to keep the clock running. Once the chains are set, the clock will wind, and Kimball White Lake will be able to snap this football with just 7 minutes remaining in this football game. They lead by a score of 16-0 as they will walk up to the line of scrimmage. Some tight football games in Class 9AA, and we'll talk about some of them when we have an opportunity to. Hopefully we'll have some updated scores. Here's Jabin Holen, who will keep it himself as he rolls to the right, and Holen will be stopped at the line of scrimmage as the tackle is made by Byron Booman. No gain on the play will bring up 2nd down and 10, and play will come in from the sideline. Vanderwerf out, and Namany back in the football game. 16-0 is our score as Kimball White Lake has the lead. Wildcats trying to pick up victory number 7 on the year and trying to move to the semifinals of the 9AA football playoffs. Holen will take the snap, gives it to Carter Fredrickson. Fredrickson off left tackle, or off left guard in the 9-man ranks. We'll move it inside the 25 to about the 23 and a half maybe. Gain of a couple, and it will bring up 3rd down. So we'll call it 3rd down and 7 as the play will again come in from the sideline, and the clock will continue to work in favor of Kimball White Lake as we're down to 5:40 remaining. 16-0 is our score as Kimball White Lake leads. They will show a pistol look here. Holen back to pass, looking, firing, pass upfield. Carter Fredrickson caught it, touchdown. Carter Fredrickson will catch the touchdown from 24 yards out, and that makes it 22-0. his second touchdown of the night. And now Kimball White Lake, I think, is on their way. They'll get ready for a 2-point conversion try. They have been perfect in conversion so far, as they are 2 of 2. Holland will walk him to the line of scrimmage. And they'll take the snap. It is Fredrickson who gets it. It is Fredrickson who races to the corner, and he is going to be stopped short. 2-point conversion is no good, but not only does Kimball White Lake get to take a big chunk of the fourth quarter clock, or time off the fourth quarter clock, they get points as well. 22-0, Wildcats lead, and Kimball White Lake will kick off after we break for 1 minute on KPLO.
The right nutrition, animal health, and record management is key to having a profitable cattle program. That's why you want to work with the people at Farmco, who will take the time to learn your operation and help you grow your business. We are your full-service agriculture provider of feed, seed, animal health, farm, and ranching equipment built on terrific service. Get to know Farmco locally owned and serving you in Chamberlain, Platte, Winter, and east of Kimball at the Paragon. Visit us online at farmcosd.com. Farmco, feeding your future.
Scoring drive for Kimball White Lake. They go 40 yards in 6 plays. That 24-yard Carter Fredrickson pass from Jabin Holland made it a 22-0 score, as Kimball White Lake looking to move on into the football playoffs as we dig our brackets out. And Kimball White Lake, who is the number 7 seed of teams remaining, they will take on the winner of Garrettson and Webster area. And we'll check a score on that when we can here in just a moment. Caden Lenz will kick the football off. He'll squib kick it, and it will be fielded. This is Hoyer, who will field the kickoff, and he'll bring it upfield across the 25 and near the 30-yard line before he is brought down. And Arlington Lake Preston, who is currently 9-0 on the season, they have themselves some work to do. They need 3 scores with 5:26 remaining. And we look at the 9AA brackets as Hoyer is back to pass. He'll fire it upfield, and the pass is thrown low and incomplete. Garrettson was leading Webster area by a 21-7 score the last we heard. And we hope to get a final score, although we should mention the scores that we've been getting from a lot of the other games going on. Since this one has been pretty much between the hash marks, it has this game will probably be complete before a lot of the other games are done. But either way, Kimball White Lake is going to be on the road. If they play next Friday, pass up the field, that is caught. This is Buman with the reception. He stepped out of bounds. He had gotten away, but they say he stepped out of bounds. That will be a first down for Arlington Lake Preston, but, well, it will not be a first down. It will be short of the first down. It will be at the 39-yard line, and Arlington Lake Preston will work without a huddle. Working to 5 minutes remaining in this football game, 22-0, Kimball White Lake leads. Back to pass is Hoyer. Looking, under some pressure, trying to get away, and he is going to be brought down. Cordell Keene, Bo Donald, and others make the big-time defensive play. And Hoyer is sacked, and that will make it 4th down and about 9 yards to go. And Arlington Lake Preston with no choice but to go for it, as Hoyer will line him up. Has plenty of time as the ball was just ready for play. Digs out another low snap, and it's back to pass. Fires it upfield. Pass is caught. The reception made by Tate Larson, and that will be enough for a first down, as Kimball White Lake was not sure whether that was going to get punted or not. Maybe not lined up the way they would like to have been defensively, but they were also not going to let anything get behind them either. as they have time on their side as Hoyer is back to pass, rolling to his right. Fires it upfield. Pass is off the shoulder pad of the intended receiver, Larson, and incomplete, and it will bring up 2nd down and 10. 22-0 is our score as Kimball White Lake leads. The incomplete pass stops the clock with 4:36 remaining in this football game. As the Wildcats in good shape here. Hoyer pass upfield. It is caught as the reception is made downfield. And with the reception, that is Jarrett Brown with the reception for the Wildcats. Pardon me, it's Nick Kirstein. He's a 175-pound senior, and he'll run from the right side and line up as a wideout on the left side of the formation as the Badgers pick up a 1st down. Hoyer back to pass, slings it upfield, passes tipped and incomplete. Hoyer trying to get rid of the football in a hurry as he threw the pass upfield, and the intended receiver for the Wildcats is shaken up, and he is down on the field right now, and that stops the play with 4:20 remaining in the football game. 22-0 is our score as the injured player being tended to. And probably just the wind knocked out of him as he is being tended to down on the field, and that gives both sides an opportunity to take a little bit of a break. We'll take a break as well with 4:20 remaining in the football game. 22-0 is our score. Kimball White Lake in the driver's seat in this quarterfinal game from the 9AA playoffs. And we will take a break and return. For 30 seconds, you're listening to coverage of regional high school football from KPLO.
At Harry K's, we do what it takes to offer you the right vehicle at the right price. Here's a fresh trade at Harry K's Chevrolet in Chamberlain, Oklahoma. Check out this 2017 Chevrolet Equinox LT1, 45,000 miles, 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. The Equinox is our most popular SUV. It's fuel efficient and priced at just $17,775. We will make it happen for you at the Harry K GM store in Chamberlain, Oklahoma, or the Harry K Ford store in Winter, your go-to family-owned dealerships.
2nd down and 10 for Arlington Lake Preston. The quarterback, Devin Hoyer, with the carry. He had nowhere to go downfield as the Wildcats had good pass coverage, and Hoyer ran it upfield. He ran a long ways to pick up 5 yards, but he will move the football down to the Wildcat 35-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 5 yards to go as Hoyer will work all alone in the backfield with bunch receivers to the right. Another low snap. Hoyer back to pass. Now he's looking as he rolls to his left, slings it off his back foot, and it's intercepted. Interception there for Cody Westendorf, and Westendorf is on the move. Westendorf down the sideline, makes a man miss. He is still on his feet. Can he take it home? He will break away, and he is in for a touchdown. That is a 62-yard, make it a 68-yard interception return for Cody Westendorf, and that puts an exclamation point on this football game as Kimball White Lake is going to move to the semifinals of the 9AA playoffs as they have a 28-0 lead. Cody Westendorf with the interception return. That time, Hoyer just needing to make something happen. Threw it off his back foot. Now Caden Lenz will try to kick the extra point, and that is through the uprights, and it is good. 29-0. Kimball White Lake leads, and we will take a 1-minute break and return. You're listening to coverage of the South Dakota High School football playoffs from KPLO.
This holiday season, Bank West encourages you to eat, drink, and shop locally. And to make budgeting easier, Bank West is offering Christmas dollar loans. Christmas dollar loans provide a low annual percentage rate of just 3% and may be used at any participating local business. Stop in and apply today. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed.
3% APR with automatic payment from a Bank West account. Equal opportunity lender. Loan subject to approval. Member FDIC.
Overwag Repair in Kimball is a full-service repair center with a team of highly trained and certified technicians. From oil changes to complex computer diagnostics, roadside assistance, and towing, you can rely on them to be your one-stop service center. Hometown repair from people who care. Overwag Repair, 725 South Main Street in Kimball.
Well, here it is 29-0. Kimball White Lake with the lead over Arlington Lake Preston with about 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It was, Garrettson leading Webster area 28-14. And again, we were moving along much faster than a lot of the other playoff games going on, especially in the 9-man ranks. So we may not get a final of that football game before we're done here, as Caden Lenz will kick off and a penalty flag flies, and we may have offsides whistled against the Wildcats. Woolsey Wessington, the other favorite, if you will, of the 9 AA playoffs, they defeat Irene Wakanda tonight by a final of 78-28. Canton over Aberdeen Roncalli 40-0. Bridgewater Emory Ethan defeats Mobridge Pollock by a 47-6 final. Wall leading Castlewood in quarter number 3. That's a 14-12 score. Faulkton area leading Burke by a 30-8 score. Dakota Valley late in the fourth quarter leads St. Thomas More by a 39-30 score. Other big game around the area in the playoffs, Winter and Sioux Falls Christian. That's 2-11 Powers getting at it. They open up the season with a hard hitting football game, and they're tied at 6 late in the fourth quarter. Here a squib kick that will be fielded by Gavin Holland, as Holland will work the return up across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Arlington Lake Preston at this point, I think they just want to make sure they could avoid the shutout as they trail by a 29-0 score with 3:45 remaining. Kimball White Lake came into this football game and did exactly what they needed to do. They needed to be able to control things as far as the line of scrimmage. They were able to do that. They were able to win the turnover battle. They have done that, as the Badgers have turned it over 3 times now in this football game. And here is Hoyer, back to pass, rolling to his left. And he'll keep it as he tries to turn the corner, and he is forced out of bounds. And good coverage downfield and good pursuit upfield by Cordell Keene to make the stop. It will be a short gain on the play out to the 31-yard line. Hoyer will be forced out of bounds. That will stop the clock with 3:38 remaining. Either way, the Wildcats are the Badgers are going to work without a huddle as they hustle to the line of scrimmage. Hoyer will dig out that low shotgun snap. Back to pass. Keene in pursuit. Bounds. Pass thrown incomplete. And that stops the clock once again with 3:32 remaining. Garrettson leading Webster by a 28-14 score. And that would be the opponent for Kimball White Lake, unless there is a major upset on the other side, and I don't think that was going to happen. Bonham and Gregory in a pretty big battle. 7-6 at halftime was the score of that football game. Here is Hoyer upfield. Pass is thrown and incomplete, and Tate Larson making the catch on his knees, and he cannot advance the football from there, but they will move the sticks as they get the football to the 40-yard line, and that'll be a 14-yard gain. And again, the Badgers will operate without a huddle. Bunch receivers left as Hoyer works all alone in the backfield. The senior quarterback is back to pass. Now he's under some pressure, makes a move on Keene, and Keene will get blocked out of the play as Hoyer will run the football upfield and will get to the midfield stripe, or maybe just short of the midfield stripe, as he picks up about 8 yards on that play. And a good block by Logan Williams. Blocked Cordell Keene out of the picture. And Hoyer was able to pick up that 8-yard run. So it's second down and 2 yards to go now, as Hoyer will again work under center. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, and rolls right into pressure, and down he goes. That time he rolled to his right, and getting in there defensively with Brock Knowles, and the senior got away from a block and stepped right in there and made a very good defensive play. And that moves the football back to the 35-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and 15. Badgers without a huddle. Hoyer back to pass. Hoyer looking, fires it upfield, pass is tipped and incomplete as Hoyer threw the football into triple coverage. It was intended for Byron Buman, pardon me. Cody Westendorf, Javen Holen, Carter Fredrickson, all three in on the defensive play. If one of them would have made the play, they maybe could have picked it off, but since all three of them were there, the ball was tipped and incomplete. Now it's 4th down. And I think we will see the Wildcats, or the Badgers rather, go for it here with just a little under 3 minutes remaining. 2:48 remains in the football game with the Wildcats in control. Back to pass is Hoyer. Hoyer under a little bit of pressure as he tries to run away. Will fire it upfield. Pass is caught. And that is Buman that makes the reception. He'll try to get away, but some sure tackling downfield. And Buman will able to move the chains as they get the football into Kimball White Lake territory to the Wildcat 46-yard line. But time again on the side of Kimball White Lake as their defense wanting to pitch a shutout here in the playoffs. Here is Hoyer back to pass. He'll fire it upfield, and the pass is caught. The reception made by Nick Kirstein, as he'll make a nice catch. That moves the football down to the 30-yard line. That will be another 1st down for Arlington Lake Preston. And Hoyer, again, all alone in the backfield, will take the snap. He'll get away from one man and then another, and he'll get past the line of scrimmage, and finally will be brought down upfield as the quarterback will move the football to the 25-yard line. He'll pick up about 4 as Rafe Keene came in and made the tackle. Hoyer back to pass on 2nd down, fires it upfield, and short hops the intended receiver. That was Nick Kirstein, as Kimball White Lake's defense will give up those shorter pass plays, as they're just willing to give those up. Just don't want to give up the big play and the big yardage at this point, as the clock is stopped after the incomplete pass with 2:03 remaining. So during our post game tonight, we'll have the KPLO Midwest Cooperative Player of the Game. We will do that during our post game tonight, as Hoyer on a 3rd down and 5 will take the snap. Under some pressure this time as he tries to run away, spin away, but gets tripped up, and he'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage. Bo Donald kept working, and he got a hand in there and knocked him down, and we'll have a timeout taken by Arlington Lake Preston. Timeout with 1:51 remaining. 29-0 Kimball White Lake, and we'll break for 30 seconds. You're listening to coverage of regional high school football from KPLO.
Kimball Clark is a proud supporter of the Kimball White Lake Wildcats. When you're traveling on I-90, be sure to take exit 284 and stop in for all of your fuel and snack needs. When you're looking for a delicious snack, be sure to grab an original Kimball popcorn ball. Kimball Clark on Main Street in Kimball. Go Wildcats!
With John Neff at Dakota Radio Group's World Headquarters, I'm Darren Boyle. We would like to thank those of you who have listened to us tonight, not only on air, but on our website worldwide, drgnews.com, and also on our YouTube channel as you catch live video tonight. 52-0, Sully Buttes defeats Kadoka tonight. They will move on in the 9B playoffs, with 1:51 remaining. Back to pass is the quarterback Hoyer, and he's under big-time pressure once again on 4th down, and he throws it short and incomplete. That time it was Rafe Keene that came in there and made the defensive play, and that will give Kimball White Lake the football, and for them, their opportunity to just take a little bit more time off the clock here. Maybe pick up a 1st down. We'll see if Arlington Lake Preston chooses to use their timeouts, but Kimball White Lake, for all practical purposes, just needs to pick up a first down, and this football game is in the books. They are going to pick up the victory as they lead by a 29-0 score. They've had a big second half. They led 8-0 at halftime. They scored on the opening drive of the third quarter, an 11-play, 60-yard drive that took close to 6 minutes off the clock in that third quarter. They made it 16-0 at that point. And then 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns that put this football game away. Holand will take the snap, backs up, and takes a knee. And Arlington Lake Preston, they were content to let the clock run here as we're down to 1:25 remaining. During our postgame, we'll have the KPLO Midwest Cooperative Player of the Game. We'll try to update as many scores as possible. Some good work back at Dakota Radio Group's World Headquarters getting us those scores. And we will have one more football game for you next Friday on KPLO as we will follow the Wildcats wherever they go in their playoff adventure. Holand will take the snap. He'll take a step back and take another knee, so it'll be 3rd down and 14. And the Wildcats, again, can just let the clock run here. And one more time to take a knee. And so she will take the, again, Holand will take a snap, take another knee. And I'm not sure if the Wildcats need to snap it away or not. Ball is ready for play, and we're down to 20 seconds on the clock. They do not. And the Kimball White Lake Wildcats will pick up victory number 6 on the season as they knock off undefeated Arlington Lake Preston. The final score in this football game, Kimball White Lake 29 and Arlington Lake Preston 0. Our scoreboard from Darren Boyle Sales. Check out the farm equipment available at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Don't forget to check out DarrenBoyleSales.com. And we will take a 3-minute break. We'll come back for our postgame on KPLO.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is...
Kimball White Lake imposed their will, as Coach Taylor said.
Go ahead and give me the feed, John, and I'm ready whenever you are.
All the way. They wanted to move the football.
We're proud of all you do and happy to support the many activities in our area schools. We appreciate the many young people who work part-time with us at Al's Oasis. Good luck and enjoy your high school years from all of us at Al's Oasis Clothing, Gift Shop, and Restaurant.
Welcome back to Arlington. Our post game is underway as the Kimball White Lake Wildcats come in as the number 7 seed of the 8 remaining teams of the 9AA bracket of the South Dakota High School football playoffs, and they come in and take care of business against the number 2 team in Arlington Lake Preston as they knocked them off by a final of 29-0 as Kimball White Lake got control of this football game early. Their defense definitely slowed down Arlington Lake Preston's running game in the first half, and Kimball White Lake had the football to start the third quarter as well, and then they scored that touchdown to start the second half, a long time-consuming drive that resulted in points, and they had a 16-0 lead early, well, I guess about midway through quarter number 3, and the Wildcats were on their way, picking up victory number 6 on the season. I mentioned the number 2 seed being knocked off by the number 7 seed, because if I understand my playoff football correctly, we'll reseed once again, and we may not be Garrettson, who was leading Webster area last we heard. That will be Kimball White Lake's opponent. We know Woolsey-Wessington was victorious. They won. Garrettson was out in front in their game against Webster. Bonham and Gregory was in a dogfight. That was 7-6 at halftime, and we have not seen a final or an updated score of that football game as of yet. So we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow or overnight and figure out who the opponent for the Wildcats will be next Friday, but November 2nd. And either way, we will have that game for you right here on KPLO as we will go to our highlight package. And we talked about Arlington Lake Preston having the football first, and they were forced into a 3-and-out, a big defensive play made by Justin Becker as he sacked the quarterback of Arlington Lake Preston, which buried them deep in their own territory. They had to punt from there, and Kimball White Lake started with the football for the first time in this contest. They had it at their own 45-yard line, 1st and 10, and they opened up the scoring first. At the 4:41 mark of quarter number 1, it was Carter Fredrickson who scored on a 2-yard touchdown run. And Holland will hand it off. Fredrickson right up the middle, and he is in, and that's a touchdown. We'll call it a 2-yard touchdown run for Carter Fredrickson. Justin Becker with a 2-point conversion pass from Javen Holland, and that made it 8-0. As we mentioned, 4:41 remained in the opening quarter. It was a 6-play, 55-yard scoring drive for the Wildcats, and that score held up through the remainder of the first half. It was 8-0 Wildcats at halftime. They go to the third quarter. Kimball White Lake had the football to start the third quarter, and they did what I think every coach would dream of. You have the lead at halftime on the road. You get the football to start the third quarter, and you put together a long time-consuming drive in that third quarter that results in points. And the Wildcats put together an 11-play, 60-yard scoring drive. The Wildcats took over 5 minutes off the clock in that third quarter. It was Caden Lenz who scores on a 4-yard touchdown run. They give it on the end around. This is Caden Lenz, and Lenz will dive to the end zone. Is he in? Yes, touchdown. Caden Lenz with a 4-yard touchdown run, and again, a good play call by Dale Taylor and the Kimball White Lake Wildcat. Ty Namany with the 2-point conversion pass from Javen Holland. Again, it's 11-play, 60-yard scoring drive. Made it 16-0 midway through the third quarter. The Wildcats led 16-0 going into the final quarter, and their defense again set up their offense. They forced Arlington Lake Preston to punt the football from deep in their own territory. Kimball White Lake got the football at the Badger 40-yard line to set up their third scoring drive. They put together a 40-yard scoring drive that took them 6 plays, and again, working on that clock, they were able to put points on the board. This time it's Carter Fredrickson who runs it in from 24 yards out. Holland back to pass, looking, firing, pass upfield. Carter Fredrickson caught it, touchdown. Carter Fredrickson will catch the touchdown from 24 yards out. 2-point conversion was no good, but you could get the you could get the feeling that Kimball White Lake was on their way at that point. After the conversion was no good, Kimball White Lake had a 22-0 lead. Arlington Lake Preston had to abandon their running game. That was their calling card coming into this football game. They could not get any traction in that running game after about the midway mark of the opening quarter. So they had to throw the football, of course, being down by 3 scores. And with 3:52 remaining in the fourth quarter, it was Cody Westendorf who put the exclamation point on this football game for Kimball White Lake. Another low snap. Hoyer back to pass. Now he's looking as he rolls to his left, slings it off his back foot, and it's intercepted. Interception there for Cody Westendorf, and Westendorf is on the move. Westendorf down the sideline, makes a man miss. He is still on his feet. Can he take it home? He will break away, and he is in for a touchdown. Cody Westendorf with officially a 68-yard interception return. Caden Lenz kicked the extra point. 29-0 is our score, and Kimball White Lake moves on to the semifinals of the South Dakota High School football playoffs. Semifinal games played next Friday. Wherever Kimball White Lake is, we will have that for you on KPLO. We'll take one more 60-second timeout. We'll have our KPLO Midwest Cooperative Player of the Game. We'll wrap up our coverage from Arlington as you listen to coverage of the regional of the South Dakota High School football playoffs on KPLO.
The right nutrition, animal health, and record management is key to having a profitable cattle program. That's why you want to work with the people at Farmco, who will take the time to learn your operation and help you grow your business. We are your full-service agriculture provider of feed, seed, animal health, farm, and ranching equipment built on terrific service. Get to know Farmco locally owned and serving you in Chamberlain, Platte, Winter, and east of Kimball at the Paragon. Visit us online at farmcosd.com. Farmco, feeding your future.
At Harry K's, we do what it takes to offer you the right vehicle at the right price. Here's a fresh trade at Harry K's Chevrolet in Chamberlain, Oklahoma. Check out this 2017 Chevrolet Equinox LT1, 45,000 miles, 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. The Equinox is our most popular SUV. It's fuel efficient and priced at just $17,775. We will make it happen for you at the Harry K GM store in Chamberlain, Oklahoma, or the Harry K Ford store in Winter, your go-to family-owned dealerships.
Back here in Arlington one more time as Kimball White Lake celebrating their quarterfinal playoff victory over Arlington Lake Preston by a score of 29-0. We'll update scores for you. We mentioned Wolsey Wessington earlier, defeating Irene Rakonda by a 78-28 score. Bonham with a 2-point lead over Gregory. They are just going into the fourth quarter in Bonham as the Cavaliers with a 14-12 lead over Gregory. And last score we had, Garrettson was leading Webster area by a 28-14 score. In 9A, it was Timberlake. They're out in front over New Underwood. That game not final yet. 30-6 the score in that ball game. Canastota Freeman leading Alcester Hudson 38-7. Britton Hecla defeats Corsica Stickney 58-6. Pardon me. Howard leading Warner. Actually, that's final. It's Howard defeating Warner by an 8-6 score. In the 9B playoffs, Sally Buttes moves on, defeating Kadoka 52-0. Faulkton area downs Burke 30-8. We think that is final. Cologne leading Coleman Egan 22-8. That is in the third quarter. And midway through the third in Castlewood, it is Wall leading Castlewood by a 21-12 score. In the 11B playoffs, Sioux Falls Christian leading Winter 14-6. Canton defeats Aberdeen Roncalli 33-0. Bridgewater Emory Ethan ends the season for the Mobridge Pollock Tigers 47-6. And Mount Vernon Plankington shuts out Lee Deadwood 46-0. That game is final. In the 11A playoffs, Dakota Valley defeats St. Thomas More 46-30. Madison is leading Del Rapids late third quarter 13-7. West Central defeats Todd County 49-8. T-Area defeats Hot Springs by a 33-0 score. In the 11AA playoffs, Pierre defeats Spearfish 54-14. They're in the fourth quarter in Mitchell. Brookings with a 10-7 lead over the Colonels. And Yankton defeats Sturgis 23-22. That is final. And Huron leading Harrisburg with 2 minutes remaining in that ball game in Harrisburg by a 14-7 score. In the 11 AAA playoffs, Sioux Falls Roosevelt defeating Aberdeen Central 55-14. Sioux Falls Washington leading Watertown 35-0. And the other two playoff games final, Sioux Falls O'Gorman over Sioux Falls Lincoln 76-14. And Brandon Valley defeats Rapid City Central by a 47-8 score. It's time in our post-game for our KPLO Midwest Cooperative Player of the Game. And before we name our Player of the Game, let's hear from Midwest Cooperatives.
When it comes to protecting your diesel engines, we're with you. Less downtime and injector repairs, we're with you. Better fuel economy and power, we're with you there too. With Cenex Fuels from CHS Midwest Cooperative. And whether you're running a fleet or a farm, you'll get unbeatable performance from our unique balance of 7 top quality additives. Looking for tank monitoring so you don't have to worry about running out? Well, we're with you there too. So upgrade to Cenex Premium Diesel from CHS Midwest Cooperative today.
Well, we look at the Player of the Game nominees on the Kimball White Lake side. Cordell Keene with a big game on the defensive side for the Wildcats. Justin Becker from the end spot made some big catches, especially that opening drive for Kimball White Lake. He caught a big pass there that moved the chains that helped Kimball White Lake to put points on the board early. And but in the end, we're going to go with Carter Fredrickson as our Player of the Game. The 155-pound senior scored by a 2-yard touchdown run and a 24-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Javen Holland. And Carter Fredrickson is our KPLO Midwest Cooperative Player of the Game. We invite you to join us Sunday for Minnesota Vikings football on KPLO. The Vikings, who have won 3 in a row with a big challenge upcoming. They will take on the New Orleans Saints. It's Sunday night football from U.S. Bank Stadium. Vikings pregame comes at 6 p.m. Kickoff shortly after 7 p.m. on your home for Minnesota Vikings football, KPLO. Next Tuesday night, volleyball action from Region 6A. We will be in Chamberlain as the Chamberlain Cubs will host Crow Creek with match coverage to get underway. Match underway at 7 o'clock. We'll have our pregame show at about 6:40. And then we'll have a semifinal round from the Region 6A in volleyball on Thursday. And then a week from tomorrow, on November 2nd, we'll have Kimball White Lake. More than likely on the road. They will be part of the semifinals of the high school football playoffs. We'll have that game for you on KPLO. And again, we would like to thank those of you who have joined us worldwide at drgnews.com. You can send me your comments and questions. My email address is Darren Boyle at dakotaradiogroup.com. And the folks are on your way home from the game. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you, don't veer for deer, slow down and stay alert. Our coverage of regional high school sports on KPLO has been brought to you tonight by Darren Boyle Sales, by Midwest Cooperatives, by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, by Right Seat, Hutch's Cafe, Harry K., Chevrolet, and Ford, by the South Dakota Attorney General's Division of Consumer Protection, the Jet Lanes, May Adams, and the Prairie Post. And our coverage of regional high school football tonight has been brought to you by Thrivent Financial, by Ditties, by Statewide Ag, Al's Oasis, Farmco, Harry K., Bank West, Overrig Repair, Kimball Clark, and by the South Dakota High School Activities Association, who gives us special permission to broadcast and stream coverage of the South Dakota High School football playoffs. John Neff has been our technical director tonight, and I'm Darren Boyle from Arlington. Again, our final score tonight, Kimball White Lake 29 and Arlington Lake Preston 0. And we bid you all a very pleasant evening.
Shut the door, turn the lights off, it'll lock all behind you. They just automatically lock. Oh yeah, we'll shut it. I get it. I'll get it. Awesome. So, I'm assuming Kimball's going Wolsey Wessington, aren't they? No, they don't reseed. They don't reseed. It just goes by the brackets. They're gonna go is that who ended up winning? They were, well, it was 28-21 now. It was close to go with 5 minutes left. So, they'll probably Garrison coming this way. It's a nice field here, Benny Garrison.